slingshot.
You launch it, so.
No, yeah, launch it.
By launch you mean big slingshot?
Yeah, they fly pretty good. Well, we just want to fly around and see where it lands. Not put his hand up.
Yeah. That's the trick.
Is the camera on?
Yeah.
The screaming V.
Well, the noise is the propeller going past the wing.
Yeah.
Once it gets away, then.
Thank you. So now these guys have got a little bit of data on the screen.
Does that go on the recording? So does it record without the data in place?
Well, if he's recording on the airplane, it's without the data. If it's recording through his ground station, then it records the data. Which is really what you want on the ground station, because if you happen to crash, you've got your GPS coordinates to go back and say, okay, here's where it was at.
So my equipment does not have that on it deliberately. So if I ever got challenged that I was flying FPV commercially, I say, how could I? There's no data on the screen. It's just recording pictures for fun.
Branch house, this is Interpret Ranger.
It flies pretty solid. This is flying instinctively away from the sun is over the most.
Yeah, that's one of the bad things is because we'll be flying this way and that sun is right there, but for flying FPV, that's not a biggie.
No, we're just kind of here to fly. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
So if the physically flying line of sight, just fly over there. What he is, he's just moved back.
So he was talking about these things coming back on their own.
Would this sort of thing be able to do that as well, or is that?
Well, right now, he doesn't have GPS. He doesn't have GPS status on it right now. It's not, for whatever reason, he's not doesn't have GPS lock. So in this case, he wouldn't have the return to home. But if you have GPS, like my little one doesn't. But my airplane I showed you does have GPS, and all I have to do is flip a switch, and it'll fly itself back home and circle overhead. Or if something happened to my radio died or whatever, it automatically senses, oh, I've lost my control signal, I need to go back home, and it flies around overhead until, now in this case, it would fly around in circles until the battery died, and then it would just slowly, come down and semi-crash land itself.
He just went. So he's flying line of sight?
Yeah. No, he doesn't have the goggles with him, so.
I'm going to support him. He's supposed to have a spotter.
How many vehicles in the air at one time for this event?
We're probably, I would think, probably like 3 or 4, because we don't have a lot of room to spread out, so there's probably not going to be too many.
Okay.
And I think probably what most people are going to end up with will be like, like the multi-rotors, because for a smaller area like this, the multi-rotors are great because you don't have to travel with them. You sit there and hover and take off and land. It's like for my plane, it's not nearly as noisy as his. It's pretty quiet, and this is plenty of room for it to come in and land.
This is his first flight with this thing?
Yeah, his maiden flight.
Cool.
Because usually, the first time there's always some trimming you have to do to get it to, fly straight and level without having to fight it. So and there's this initial stuff where it's a little twitchy as you're trying to figure out what it's doing on its own and then get that trimmed out. So it's
When you say trimmed out, you mean just learn how to compensate yourself?
well, no, there's actually trims where it adjusts the control surfaces so that, like, if it's always trying to bank right, you can adjust the control surfaces so it counters that, so it always flies straight. So you can let go of the radio and the plane will fly straight and level. You don't have to sit there always on the sticks.
You can make those adjustments from the controls that he's holding in his hand?
Yes.
That's very cool. Cool. So what properties is just like this flying wing got that your plane doesn't? What are the advantages or disadvantages of these two?
It's just really just a different style. You know, now the flying wings, they usually handle a little bit more wind and stuff like that because you just don't have as much. It's just a wing area versus having a wing and then the body.
Yeah.
Usually, I would say they're not maybe quite as stable as a regular airplane. You know, that way you have to fly them a little bit more, noisier. Yeah, having the prop in the back is what makes it that the air coming off the wings is not smooth, and so that's what you hear is the prop going through dirty air. So you get that.
Could you design a
noise to
flying
it.
wing that has a prop in the front?
They actually do have somewhere. Most of them don't have a prop up front, but I've seen some where they have like twin motors, so it's out on the wings, and then those are much quieter. Now, like this one here, I mean, these are kind of like purpose made for doing this type of stuff. You know?
What's this type of thing? You mean just aerial acrobatics like you
Well, no, really the plane he's got here for the size of it, it was made for doing FPV. You know, that's what we call it, first person view.
Okay.
And so it's a little bit customized to handle taking larger batteries for longer flight time. The room to put your electronics so you can separate. You get too many electronics too close to each other and they can start interfering with each other. So you have the room to move stuff away from each other. So I think the farthest he's flew with a regular fixed wing plane versus a flying wing. I think he did like about 15 miles out, but only about 11 miles back.
Okay.
Ran out of battery.
Oh, that's cool. Did I say thanks for being willing to do this?
Oh no, this stuff is fun. I like this kind of stuff. Like I said, I did a demo for some Cub Scouts, doing the same thing of letting them watch through the monitor while I was flying a multi-rotor around, and I just thought that just to neatest thing.
It really is.
It gets so much bad press, and really for most people, like, you know, I just do it for fun. You know, I've done some videos, and it's just, you know, it's not a business for me. It's just been a hobby. I think it'd be fine. Actually, the longer grass for belly landing is good.
Like snow.
Yeah, it's not easy to move across.
No, it's completely. It's like, you ever seen those sheep's feet? The things that compact the earth. It's completely like that out there. You had to have faith that you'd have room. I said, you get tons of room. You made it. So anyway, that was just a little try it out.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think it's going to work.
Yeah.
Oh, something cold.
Yeah, when that sun went behind the clouds, it definitely cooled off.
So anyway, if you can smooth Chris a bit and second source me.
All right. Yeah, I put some stuff on this Facebook, and what I can do is get like an overhead picture of the park here. You know, Google it, and then put it on so it says, okay, this is where we're going to be set up at. This is. I think it is easier. You know, we could probably just like unload here and then park right there. It is closer. I think probably most of them probably end up flying more multi-rotors than fixed wing anyway.
Whatever they want. I mean, I'd fly fixed wing here all day.
Yeah, well, I think my Twin Star would be, it'd be no problem here.
It'd be beautiful, dude.